Hey guys, Stephanie Garrett here. In today's video, we're going to be making a beaded stretchy men's bracelet. Now, it's a fairly simple project, so I'll show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making some bracelets like this, and this is a man's bracelet, and it has turquoise and something called fossil stone, which I thought was kind of cool. I never saw that before, and it has wood in it, and I kind of want to encourage you to, find really unique beads and stones and, mix patterns and colors because it comes out really cool. Now, this is actually a lady's bracelet. This is mine, as you can see. And you can see the different sizes in them too. See how the man's bracelet is a little bit bigger than the ladies? This is probably 8.5 inches around. And this one's about 7, which is standard. Most women, some women are size 6 inch wrist, but this is good for a man. And I'm wearing a stack that I made, a nice juicy stack. And you see how the mixture of colors look really good together. These are banded agates and what else? Moonstone with jasper and gray quartz and pyrite and what else I was gonna say? Oh, onyx. Love black onyx. Love that. Look at that. How juicy and cute is that, right? Those are mine. These are mine as well. And I was just gonna say, I happen to think that taking the time to have a little me time, to make some jewelry or to do something creative is so much fun. It's relaxing. You get to, breathe and decompress. And if you're a parent, we know that having a little me time is always a good time, is a good thing, right? We need a little me time. In fact, you can even, close your door, come in your room or in your house somewhere and, have your favorite beverage. In today's case, mine is lemonade here. Although if it was later, it'll be wine, right? Okay. We love a glass of wine, right? Don't we, moms? Ooh, yes, we do. Some of us do anyway. And, it's always a good time just to, breathe and create. And, when you're done, you feel so much more balanced and at peace. And at least I do. I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else, but I do. I feel so much more balanced when I'm creative because I'm mildly introverted, believe it or not. And it sort of helps me stay in tune with myself when I'm creative. And so I like to, make stuff. And then that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make our beaded stretchy men's bracelet. Now, I'm going to show you the tools that you're going to need for your project, okay? So here we go. Now, we're going to need your nipper tool. Hopefully you have one of those, right? You're going to need your E600 glue, which is this. Now, you can probably use a jewelry cement or something like that, but my personal opinion, turn it around so you can see it, is that this holds better. Just my opinion. Now, somebody will tell you something different, and you can use whatever it is you like. But for the purpose of my project, this is what I'm going to use. I've always used this for my bracelets, and I've never had a problem with them stretching out or falling apart or anything. Plus, it's tied right. And I had a few people say, well, my bracelets stretch out or they fall apart. Well, it's probably not being tied right, and you're probably not using the right adhesive. And this works perfectly. Okay. And I'll show you how to use that in a few minutes. And you're going to need some toothpicks here. Believe it or not, toothpicks come in handy when making jewelry, strangely enough. It's a little bit old school, kind of. And these were like $1 at Walmart. Okay. You're going to need a ruler or a tape measure. I like a ruler. You're going to need your elastic bead cord. Now I'm using 1mm black. It comes in clear as well. See that? No, I actually got this at a bead store. You can probably order it online. I did not find it in a craft store. It's hard to, in my area at least, to find it at a craft store. You can probably still use this one, the clear. But for my men's bracelets, I tend to go with the black just because I think it looks cooler. And I made some of these in black as well. And I think this particular one right here is made with clear. So you can kind of mix and match however you feel. I just like the black because I just think it looks better for the men's bracelets. And this one comes in 0.7. Now, if you're going to use this, I would recommend that the beads be smaller. And this is a little bit easier to get through some of the holes. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because this bracelet that I put together today, some of the holes were a little bit smaller and it was a little harder to get the stone, the elastic cord through the stone. Now you can always use a bead reamer to drill the, electric bead reamer to drill a hole in the side of the stone to make the hole bigger so you can get the wire through or the cord through. But that's a whole nother show. But This will work probably just fine. I tend to like the 1mm because I think it's a little stronger. It's just my opinion. You know, when you're making your own things, you can do, you know, choose whatever it is you like. But this is what I'm going to be using for this project today. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and, oh, let me show you the beads. Let's get started with the project. These, I'm using turquoise beads, turquoise nuggets, genuine turquoise nuggets. These are the bigger ones, by the way. And I have some smaller nuggets here. I got all these beads in the bead store, by the way. See that? I got some fire agate. This is about a 10mm. It's very pretty. And I'm using some cool bone African beads with this really cool pattern on there. See that? That's kind of cool. I saw that and I thought, that's interesting. And that's the thing, you know, picking interesting colors and textures and shapes and kind of putting it all together just bumps your project up just a notch, you know, making it look more sophisticated and more expensive because, you know, that's what we do here. That's my jam, right? And if you watch any of my other videos, you would know that that's what the deal is, right? So I went ahead for time and put some of this together because I didn't want to sit and bore you to death with stringing it along. So I started it, and then let's go ahead and finish it, and I'll show you, you know, what to do. Here we go. Now this is a piece of cord that I cut just so you can see the length of it. It doesn't have to be really this long. You can kind of eyeball it and see, you know, how much to cut. I just like it a little longer just in case, you know, so I can tie it off or whatever. But it can probably be, you know, a little shorter. That way you can save. Won't have as much wastage, I guess. But that's what I did. I cut it a piece just to show you. And like I said, I went ahead and strung the beads on the bracelet already. Now this is going to be the focal point of the piece. And this bead is a red Botswana agate bead. Isn't that pretty? It's red Botswana agate, turquoise, bone, fire agate. And you see how the different sizes and textures of the beads just make for such a more interesting, beautiful piece. And it makes it look expensive too. So go ahead and put your beads through the cord here. Very simple. That way you can lay it out. I lay mine out like that. Just so, you know, I see what it's going to look like once it's all kind of put together. And to make everything sort of look uniform. And you can, you know, mix it up however you like. I just like this layout for this particular project. And go ahead and put your fire agate on there, or whatever other color bead you have. String it on there. And your nugget. Now, this one may be a little bit hard to, oh there you go, went right through. Some of them were a little hard to get through the hole. But, you know, if you wiggle it a little bit, it usually will go through. And some of the holes are really tiny, so it's a little hard. So I did that, and then I'm going to put this other bead on here, this bone bead. Go ahead and string it, and then you make it look kind of cool. And then I would do it like this, okay? And then we're going to measure it too to see the length of it. Now, a man's bracelet can probably be about, you know, 8 and, let me see, let me turn this around here. Okay, hold on. 8 and 8.5, you know, to 9 inches. Some of them can obviously be bigger than that, depending on the size of the wrist, but most guys can rock a 8 to size 9 bracelet with a little room for movement or whatever, because some people don't like them tight. Most of the guys don't, but some people, you know, like a little room as well. So this one is giving me 8 3/4, just a tad over 8 3/4, which I think is a perfect length, because somebody that has a, say, a size 8 to 8 3/4 inch wrist can rock it. So that's like 3 different sizes right in there. So now you're going to take it like that. See how you pull it together? Look how nice that looks. Doesn't it look really nice? Looks expensive too, right? Okay. And then do it like that. Make sure everything looks even. And then you're going to tie it off. I tie mine like this. Kind of tie it in a little thing like that. See that? Okay. Now take it. Make sure it's pulled tight. I make sure it's tight because you don't want it loose, because if it's loose, it's probably just going to fit loose and it's going to look weird. So I take mine like this and I push this through the back. And it kind of doesn't matter which direction you go, as long as they're all different directions. And that's the key to tying it off. They need to be going and tied off in different directions. Now I went that way before, so now I'm going to go this way. Now some people would only tie it twice. See that? That knot, that's a nice little knot there. You see? Am I holding the camera angle right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's pretty good, huh? Right? Now, see how it's nice and sturdy and strong? You know, just to make sure it won't fall apart. And it's fairly simple to tie. So what you're going to do now is take your E600 glue, or whatever your glue you're using. Undo it here. And get your toothpick. This is where the toothpicks come in, right? Okay. And you're going to take just a tiny bit of glue. Maybe less than that. Okay, this one is kind of messy here. That's the thing about E600. It is a little messy and sticky. And I don't like the strings on there. But, you know, that'll work just nonetheless. That's way too much, actually. You don't even need that much. That's probably perfect. See that much? Just that much. A little dab of do ya. As my granny used to say, a little dab of do ya. Sound like somebody's grandmom up in here. Anyway, so you take that little dab, and you take your knot, and you put it right on your knot. And it dries clear, so it won't, you know, you won't be able to see it. But if you should get some, say, on the bead, say like right here or something, or in this bead, you could just peel it off and it'll work just fine. Right? Take your toothpick, put your glue, and put it right there. And I will let this sit and dry for at least 24 hours before I touched it, because that way the glue will have a chance to dry and adhere and bond. Now, the longer you let this sit, the longer it will bond. I have found sometimes I even let it sit maybe 36 hours before I even cut it. And you would cut it like right in here. And you know what? For the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I would never cut it in general this soon. But I want to show you, you know, what I'm talking about here as far as nipping it. So what you're going to do is take it, your strands, once it dries completely and totally. And take your nipper tool, which is this one. And you're going to clip it right. Can you see that? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I can hold it properly. Right here. See? Look at that. Bam. Done. Okay. Do the other side. Actually, turn it around this way. And bam. Look at that. Done. You can barely even see it. Right? That's the whole point. And this bracelet is actually really cool. It's really nice. Looks expensive, right? That's always good, you know, when you're making something simple. Choosing good materials is what makes a really simple project so much better. It bumps it up a notch. Now look at that. How cool is that, right? Wow. You just made yourself a really cool bracelet. Okay, so we finished our project, our beaded stretchy men's gemstone bracelet, and look at that. How cool, masculine, and sexy is that, right? And this is very unique, and you probably wouldn't be able to find this in any store, and if you did, it'd be a little pricey. So I encourage you, when you're shopping for beads and stones, to, you know, think about your mixtures of colors and textures and spacers, adding spacers and wood and bone with stones, because it can make just a project just, you know, up the level of sophistication of the project. Simple projects can come off a little boring, but when you put really good stones and a mixture of all that together, it just makes it look really a little bit more expensive, I think, and cool and sophisticated. So I encourage you to step outside the box and think a little bit different about, you know, the patterns and stuff that you want to choose. You might not be able to find these particular ones, but, you know, pick something that you like and make it yourself and just have fun with it. That's what it's all about, having fun. And I've had fun spending time with you today. And I'm glad you tuned in, and I will catch you next time. Ciao.